My name is Preston Cadell, and I'm with Swan Hellenic Luxury Expeditions. And thank you so much for your time this morning. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about our beautiful expedition brand, and hopefully you'll take some wonderful inspiration away from this presentation. So, my name is Preston Cadell, and I'm a regional sales director with Swan Hellenic. And I love expeditions and have been doing it my entire professional career. So, it's one of those things that once you're in the expedition field, you don't want to leave because these voyages and adventures are just so memorable. Swan Hellenic's a wonderful brand that represents the expedition cruise industry very well. So we have one of the youngest fleets in the cruise market, a small fleet of three beautiful smaller vessels that are all inclusive and very intimate. We have the SH Minerva with 152 passengers, the SH Vega also with 152 passengers, and then the SH Diana a little bit larger at 192 passengers. All three vessels are Polar Class 5, which means that they're designed to sail in polar environments like Antarctica and the Arctic and to enjoy some wonderful experiences there. But they also sail in a wide variety of tropical destinations as well. So we're a pretty diverse cruise line, and I'll share that with you in a moment. Our vessels, being new, are wonderfully laid out and designed. They're absolutely beautiful, as you can see here. The Swan Restaurant is our main dining area where you would enjoy beautiful cuisine. You would have buffet style for breakfast and lunch and plated dinner in the evening. We have a club lounge so you can relax and enjoy that fire and socialize with your fellow passengers. And if the weather is nice, we can always dine outside at the pool, bar, and grill. So if there's something beautiful outside worth seeing, you can dine outside and enjoy that and enjoy the fresh breeze and the stars in the evening. So you have a wide variety of options. So we also have a lot of different amenities on board. We have a spa and beauty salon where you can enjoy those services. We have a gym, of course, if you'd like to exercise in the morning. We have a sauna and open deck jacuzzi, so you can just relax and take in what you've seen that day. And as you can see from that window, even in the sauna, you can see outside and see the beautiful sunset or sunrise or whatever happens to be going on. We have a heated pool as well, so even if we're in a polar environment, you have the option of going swimming, which is fantastic. So overall, a really wide variety of things to do on board. But I'd say that our main highlight are the observation lounge speeches. So our expedition staff, we have a staff of 12 expedition members on board. They guide all of our excursions, which are included in our fare. They also host a lot of lectures to give you more information about the places that they're sailing to. They're from all over the world, really experienced scientists, historians, and other specialities. They conduct multiple lectures every single day to teach you more about where you're sailing to. So these are all on your itinerary. They're kind of sprinkled throughout the day when you're not on excursion. You can come in here, enjoy a cocktail or a coffee, relax, and learn more about the things that you're seeing. We have the beautiful expedition staff of 12 on board. So 12 expedition members, typically, sometimes a little bit more. They're from all over the world, wide variety of backgrounds. So a lot of them are scientists, but there's also historians and photographers and other people on board, and they all contribute to your experience. So you'll get to see a wide variety of things and learn from the best. So one thing I love about Swan Hellenic is that we sail to a really wide variety of places. So we really go all over. We're best known for a polar expedition cruise line, so Antarctica and the Arctic, and those are incredible places to see. But we also go to a lot of tropical places as well. So we go to the more familiar destinations like the Caribbean and Europe. We also go to South America, Africa, and Asia Pacific. So I'd say one of our most wonderful beneficiary qualities is that we really get out there and we do a wide variety of itineraries. We really kind of go to the unknown places where others don't go to. So if you really want to get to that off the beaten path adventure destination, we're going to be a good option for that. So I'll just kind of highlight really quickly where we sail to, and please, I definitely advise you to take a look at some of our itineraries on our website just because they are really spectacular and you'll get more photos and more context. But I'll run through these really quickly. So I'll start with my favorite destination of all time, Antarctica. I love this place. I've been here multiple times, would go back 100 times. Just incredibly unique, like nowhere else on the planet. We do a wide variety of sailings, from shorter sailings that go right across the Drake Passage to the Antarctica Peninsula. And we have longer sailings that'll go east to South Georgia Islands and the Falklands. Now, if you do take that longer voyage, you do get a wider variety of wildlife to see. However, if you go straight to the peninsula, you're going to have the time of your life. The Drake Passage takes a couple of days to get across each way, and there is a Drake Shake and a Drake Lake. But what I would say is that for all expedition vessels that are relatively new, like ours, they're built with wonderful stabilizers. They're all built with the Drake Passage in mind because it's such a popular destination for expedition cruise lines. So they really mitigate a lot of that turbulence and bumping that you might experience. And honestly, going across the Drake is part of the experience. It gets you ready for your voyage to Antarctica. And to be honest with you, I've been doing this for 21 years and I have yet to meet the person who's gone to Antarctica and regretted it. I haven't met that person yet because it really is that spectacular of a destination. The wildlife behaves differently. They have no fear of people. So you get wonderful wildlife photography, beautiful landscapes, wonderful glaciers, fjords, and icebergs, great history. You get to learn a lot more about the Antarctic explorers that made this place famous, and a lot more than that. And you get just a wonderful sense of isolation. There's no civilization down here. So when you're down here, you really are on your own. And that's just an incredible feeling to know that there's still places on this earth that we can do that. Now, however, if you're looking for a different destination, then we have a lot to offer, and I'll start with Africa. So I think our African sailings are fantastic because they're very diverse. We go all over the continent. So if you want to go to West Africa, I mean, you get to visit places that are very off the beaten path for tourists, Ghana, Angola, Cameroon, places like that. Wonderful cuisine, a lot of wildlife sightings here. If you want to see a little bit more of a historical experience, then you can certainly go to North Africa. You can go to those countries that have some of the oldest historical sites in the world. And they also have a lot of shared history with Europe. So we combine these destinations with places like Portugal and Spain. We go down to South Africa and we see that part of the world. You get to see Cape Town, beautiful city. You get to see Madagascar, which is incredibly unique. It is unlike any other place on the planet. There's a lot of wildlife here that is not found anywhere else. So Madagascar, you know when you're there because you'll see things like lemurs that you don't see anywhere else. And then you can go up to places like Kenya and Tanzania, and you can see some of the larger game animals that you kind of associate Africa with. You can combine that with the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean has gorgeous beaches, a lot of unique wildlife as well. So we've got a lot of flexibility. If you really want to dive into a place that is a little bit off the beaten path, Africa is a great place to consider. It's not typically seen as a cruise destination, but if you go on the right vessel, like an expedition vessel with Swan Hellenic, you're going to get a great experience there. And a little closer to home, we have South America. So South America is a wonderful continent to visit. There's a lot to offer here. We go to all parts of South America, which is fantastic. So if you go to the eastern side to Brazil, then not only will you get that beautiful cultural experience in Brazil and a lot of the beautiful landscapes, you get to go down the Amazon River. And if you go down the Amazon, it is unlike anywhere else on the planet. I mean, the wildlife that goes up to the banks to drink and to bathe, and then all of the monkeys in the trees, the unique wildlife here like the river dolphins and tapirs and anteaters and all the other animals there makes for a very unique experience, and the bird life is fantastic too. Now if you go to the other side of the continent over to Peru and Chile, it is absolutely fascinating. Peru is actually a very coastal country. It's a really nice country to visit with a small cruise ship. You can visit some of the more historical places there like your Machu Picchu's and your Nazca lines. And it's a lot easier doing it on a cruise vessel where you don't have to pack and unpack. You get this beautiful ship that you can enjoy, go back to your stateroom, go out during the day and experience the wonderful country. So you really get the best of both worlds there. If you go down further to the tip of South America, you get to go to Patagonia. So the parts of Argentina and Chile, Patagonia is absolutely beautiful. The Patagonian fjords are very underrated. There's wonderful glaciers here. A lot of the things that you'll see in Antarctica, to some extent, you'll see here as well. So glaciers, fjords, icebergs, and penguins are here in the Chilean fjords. So you get to enjoy that in this part of the world. And we do include a charter flight if you are starting in a smaller embarkation port. So, for example, most of our sailings to Antarctica and a lot of them in South America depart from Ushuaia, the southern capital of Argentina. Beautiful little city, but quite small. We include a charter flight from Buenos Aires down there, and we include it back as well if we end in Ushuaia. So you don't have to worry about getting down there. We include that. And of course, if you want to be a little bit closer to home, we've got Panama. We do a Panama Canal crossing, which is always fascinating. We combine that with Costa Rica, which has incredible wildlife. And we even go up into the Caribbean a little bit too. So we definitely sail closer to home if you don't want to travel far. We have the Arctic as well. So the Arctic is the other great polar destination on our planet. And you might want to compare it to Antarctica, but realistically, they're not really comparable because they offer a lot of different things. There's a little bit more of a human element in the Arctic. So whenever you're in this part of the world, you get to visit Inuit communities, you get to see ancient Viking sites. The Vikings didn't leave a lot behind, so what little there is located here. Very interesting. And you get unique wildlife too. You get, of course, the polar bears, you get walruses, puffins. You get a lot of wildlife here that you don't see in other parts of the world. So the Arctic is its own completely unique experience. If you go to a place like Greenland, which is becoming a more popular destination to visit, it's a fascinating country. It has a lot of unique things to see. I really recommend that you go with a small ship like Swan Hellenic because larger vessels are much more limited in what they can see here. Greenland tends to be surrounded by ice quite a bit, and this part of the world has a lot of regulations too that tend to limit where larger ships can go. A smaller ship can still see those really unique off the beaten path places. Like down on the bottom left-hand side, Disco Bay is the world's largest network of fjords, and you can see them pretty much from Bay. But if you're on a larger ship, you won't see that anywhere near as clearly. You have to kind of go in to really see it. We also offer a route of the Vikings, so you can go across Greenland, Iceland, into Canada, or vice versa, and you get to see the part of the world there, which is really uniquely interesting. So there's a lot to offer in the Arctic. And we do include charter flights as well from our sailings that either start or end in Greenland or Svalbard in northern Norway. We do include a charter flight to and from, so you don't have to worry about that component either. And then last but not least, we have Asia. So we do a really good variety of Asian sailings. We do the more popular destinations, particularly Japan, a wonderful country to visit with a small ship. If you're just staying in the main capital area, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, you can do that by train. But if you want to see those small coastal villages that have the ancient temples, you want to go outside and you want to do it with a small ship. It's much easier to get around. You get to see a lot of these small ports that larger ships literally can't access. They're too large. So it's a really cool way to see an incredible country. And we also offer more unique destinations as well. For example, we see Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. So a lot of cruise lines will just sail around this area typically, but we go through it and we show you truly one of the more unique destinations on the planet where others don't really visit. So if you have that, that explorer's mentality, that's an area that you're going to want to consider because it's really interesting. And we also do other places as well. Of course, we do the Philippines, Indonesia, we do Vietnam. So we do quite a bit of Southeast Asia in general. So it's a really nice combination of the more popular destinations and the more off the beaten path destinations too. So your stateroom amenities include just about everything. You get a welcome bottle of champagne, you get a mini bar, coffee machine. You get quite a bit for what you get. We're an all-inclusive cruise line, so that means we include basic Wi-Fi. We include the excursions as well. So if you're on an expedition, the shore landings via Zodiac are included. If you're on a non-expedition, so let's just say you're in Europe somewhere, we do include a shore excursion per port in your fare as well. So you get a great value for a wonderful product. And I'll finish my presentation just by showing you some of the rooms. We've got a beautiful selection of staterooms on board. So we have upper suites, we have a lower category such as an ocean view. We have no interior staterooms on our ships. So a premium suite like this is pretty good size, 506 square feet, including a beautiful balcony. And all of our suites, by the way, have fireplaces, which is really nice. So whenever you walk into your room, especially if you're in a colder place, that fireplace is a really nice way to welcome you back. It warms the room up. It's got a beautiful ambiance. So those are included in all of our suites. We also have regular suites as well that sleep up to four, so we're a good fit for a family. The minimum age for a child to sail with us is 6 years old, but other than that, everybody, of course, is welcome. So regular suites have the same thing, the balcony, the fireplace, the space. If you're sailing on the Diana, we also have a junior suite, which is a little smaller, sleeps 2 to 3, so perfect for a family with one child. And then, of course, we have regular staterooms like the balconies, which is still 269 square feet, so still a very good size with a nice balcony. And we have the lowest category, which is the ocean view. So this one sleeps 2 to 3 as well, 215 square feet. You have those beautiful windows that fill up the entire room. What I would say is that if you would like to sail with us or with another line that goes to a place like an Antarctica, an Arctic, a more off the beaten path destination, the suites tend to book up first. So if you are interested in sailing in a suite, my recommendation would be to book that as far ahead of time as possible. Hopefully with us, but with anybody who's a premium line that can take you to these places, all across the board, the suites tend to book up more quickly. So just keep that in mind when you're considering what category of stateroom you're looking for. And that's the end of my presentation. So if you have any follow-up questions, please contact your travel advisor and take a look at our website. If you have an opportunity, you'll see a lot of great itineraries there, more context about what we offer. We're a great cruise line. We really are. We're smaller. We're growing in the U.S. market. The company's been around since the 1950s, so we have a lot of experience in providing wonderful luxury style expeditions to our guests. We hope to see you on board soon. Thank you very much for your time today.